When the holidays are fast approaching, I love to make fast and easy Christmas cards, but I still want the cards to be beautiful and unique. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik, and the cards I am sharing in this video took just minutes to create and feature this gorgeous ribbon swirl tree stencil from Trinity stamps, different ways to add shimmer, and debossed textured backgrounds. So this is a two-part stencil from Trinity stamps. And the easiest way to use this stencil is to simply brush on inks as I did on my first card. But I think a plain white background is boring, so I added texture and interest on all of my cards with debossing background dies. So if you can see the stars in there, the debossing background dies leave it flat but still give it texture, and then when you're brushing on ink, of course that ink picks up that pattern there, and I think that makes it look very cool. On this one I used a new Trinity Stamps Starry Styles cover plate, so that's what I used. And then can you see how the iridescent stars shimmer in the light? So I added shine and shimmer to each one of these cards. Those iridescent stars are also from Trinity Stamps. Now more details on all the cards I show will be on my blog, and links to the blog posts and products featured are also in the description box. Just look at the glimmering gold on this tree. Isn't that beautiful? I applied Transfer Gel Duo to the second layer of that stencil. And then I used Gina Designs Fancy Foils Glimmering Gold. When that transfer gel was dry, you simply put the foil on top, and with the Gel Duo you can either just apply pressure in your die cutting machine or use like a mink or a laminator. And I love the shimmer of those stars there. I added texture with this pinpoint snowflake plate from Memory Box on the background of this card, and again that's flat but still gives texture and interest to that background. I also used that same Memory Box debossing die on the background of this one, and I used Gina K's Glitz Glitter Gel in the red velvet color for the second layer of the stencil on this one. So again, a glittery, shimmery texture simply by applying that Glitz Glitter Gel. And then I cut out my snowflakes with Tonic Studios Iridescent silver paper for some more shimmer and shine on that card. I'm going to show you another way to use this layered ribbon swirl tree stencil for a quick and gorgeous holiday card. So I've started with a piece of pretty pattern paper, and I added some subtle texture to the background with Cat Scrappiness's stitched winter swirl background. So this is a very pretty snowflake debossing die. It is subtle, but it does add interest to that background. So I'm going to put that piece of paper down, and I'm going to This is a two-part stencil, and you can choose. You can either start with what I've labeled as number 1 or number 2. I'm going to do the second one first on this card, and I'm just going to use this piece of paper here to mask off this side, and then I'm going to use some masking tape to mask off this side, and then just some temporary tape, removable tape, to tape everything down. I'm going to use my Tailored Expressions blending brush and a Lawn Fawn Sugar Plum purple ink. The first layer, I'm just going to use a light hand and just add a little bit of the purple ink through the openings in the stencil. I like how when you have that textured debossed background, when you add this ink, it picks up and highlights that pattern in the tree. So in this one, I just want a light hand and a light layer of the purple. I'm just going to wipe a little of that ink off, and then pick up the stencil and move it to the number 1 as I've labeled it. Now all you do is you line the bottom up and the sides. I did this so lightly I can't really see as well. Once again, I'm going to mask off the other stencil and then use some temporary tape. Now on this one, I do want this to be darker, so I'm using the same ink, but I'm just going to do a heavier, use a heavier hand and put a heavier purple. Oh, I can't have that close. I want to mask the side off, but I don't want to have the mask where the stencil should be. So on this one, I'm using a heavier hand and getting a darker purple layer. And wipe it down a little bit. And now I'm going to take Gina K Designs Glitz Glitter Gel in the Iridescent color, which is somewhat see-through, but really pretty for sparkle. Now sometimes that picks up a lot of that purple ink, and you don't want to put that back in your jar, so I am not going to do that. I'm just going to wipe it off. With a paper towel. And then I'm going to put it in a bath. I have a stencil bath behind me. So this doesn't dry on there. So you can see that that iridescent glitz glitter gel is over the darker layer of that stencil, and really adds some beautiful but subtle shimmer and shine to that. Now I'll have to set that aside, and it takes about an hour to dry. But I did do one earlier. And actually on this one, the first layer I did just a little bit darker, so I guess I like this one better, but that other one is very pretty as well. And you can see the pretty subtle background there, and the purple swirls, and then the iridescent glitz glitter gel on top of there. I think that's just lovely. I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. So we're going to add this to a white card base with a purple layer. Get that to set up. Now I have a sending, which is part of a die from Cat Scrappiness, and then I have some more iridescent snowflakes that I punched out of that iridescent paper from Tonic Studios. Picking it up, and I'm going to put this across the top here. I don't want to cover any of that beautiful tree, but I do like to put a sentiment on the front and the inside of my cards. So I am going to dot the eye with a little iridescent snowflake. And then I have a few other ones punched here. Then I'm going to add to the front of my card. With some glue. So we have sending with those pretty iridescent snowflakes and that Glitz glitter gel over the purple in that ribbon tree. And then on the inside, warm winter wishes. So we're sending warm winter wishes. This is a die from it's from Stamplorations. And this is from Cat Scrappiness, as I said. So our swirling ribbon cards are complete. They were so easy to make, and I think they are just beautiful, and they may be my favorite of all the Christmas cards I've made this year. I hope they inspire you to try some of the ideas and products featured. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.